If I'm talking about systematic trading, there are two parts. One is research, wherein you spend time understand how market patterns has been. In this segment of research, I think today we have models, we have knowledge which we never had earlier, right? Knowledge base which was locked in with hedge funds. Today we have it. As a retail, I can actually work on those. So basically, I'm buying hedges on the monthly expiry, right? There are multi-leg orders, right? This is the process of training. When I say I sell a calendar, I am right now training what has to be done. So once AI gets a hang of it, I can always come back and just say, you remember what you did the last time? Can you do it again for now, right now? And it'll do the entire thing without you specifically telling what to be done. But what will happen is there'll be pockets of patterns you would be able to see, which already you can see in zero DT expiry trading that had to be happening, and everyone trying to work on those patterns. Also, one thing which is happening is during stress events that will amplify the situation, which can affect you if you're doing just one type of thing.
As a retail trader or a retail investor, how can we utilize sitting at our homes in front of our computers? So how can we actually do the practical execution of all these things? The infrastructure has changed from paper tickets to matching engines and to APIs, but the job hasn't changed. Find signals early and execute cleanly. Enter artificial intelligence, or what we call as AI. It reads faster, tests more, and scale what works. And it is redefining who eventually is the winner. Welcome to Off the Charts, a series where we explore the technology, forces, and the behavior that are shaping tomorrow's markets. Hi, I am Vaibhav Jain, and the big question today is very simple. Will AI make human traders obsolete, or it may make good traders even better? AI in trading is not just an institutional story anymore. Retail traders now have access to powerful tools, models, and data workflows. And to take this from theory to practice, today we are joined by Mr. Souvik. Later in the conversation, he will break down real architecture and execution and walk us through few of his strategies working in real time. Souvik is an engineer with a background in banking, co-founded a successful AI startup. After exiting, he combined his passion for technology and financial markets to specialize in algo trading, developing automated systems that trade in the Indian markets. Hey Souvik, welcome to a brand new episode of Off the Charts, and it is my ultimate pleasure to speaking with you today.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. It's my pleasure as well. Thank you for having me here.
So Souvik, before we start diving deeper into the technology part, I just wanted to understand from you the bigger picture. See, basically we have seen that the trading has evolved over the last many years. People used to trade using, looking at the reading at the red tapes, and then we evolved into the electronic system somewhere around mid 90s, at least in India. Then we had HFTs coming in, then we had quant funds. So we have seen the evolution, but the reality is that the discretionary traders have still existed all over these years. So do you think that AI in trading is just another cycle in this evolution phase, or this time is it something qualitatively different?
So trading has always been linked to technology, if you see, right? Every time
Correct.
Technology has changed, it has also changed the way trading is done. So from the time when Newton said that I can calculate the movement of stars but not the madness of men, to someone like Jordi Weiser saying that I use 60% of my research is done by perplexity. We have come so far, right? So before the computer era, when computers were not there, it was all about gut feeling, right? Looking at the charts,
Yeah.
and getting the daily ticker and trying to figure out, okay, this is what I feel would happen. From there, when the computers came in, we were able to work on structured data, right? So if I have price data, I can do analysis, I can do statistical modeling, I can do so much stuff. And that's where even HFTs came in, and that's where the entire concept of market also matured. The same thing is happening even now, wherein AI is actually in commoditized intelligence, right? Which really affects whatever we are doing right now with trading, and it would definitely have some consequences in whatever happens in the market.
But do you think that the way we are looking at the AI, where kind of we'll also see that there are a lot of players who will probably be putting their strategies, putting their algos for maybe the commercial use. There will be a lot of herding which might happen when a lot of people, a lot of retail traders will be eventually renting out these strategies from the people who are actually building those strategies.
Yeah, so let me take a step back, right? If you look at trading, right, because end of the day, when you talk about trading, essentially what you're doing is trying to understand what others are doing. You are not alone in this market, and you are kind of participating in it, right? In trading,
Yeah.
essentially there are two parts, right? One is if I'm not considering discretionary trading, because there is no method to madness there, but if I'm talking about systematic trading, there are two parts. One is research, wherein you spend time understand how market patterns has been, and run models and stuff. And in this
Right.
segment of research, I think today we have models, we have knowledge which we never had earlier, right? Knowledge base which was locked in with hedge funds. Today we have it. As a retail, I can actually work on those. Run through PhD papers and build research. Build research led models and run it, right? So the time to iteration, to getting to know an idea, or thinking of an idea, to actually figuring out does it even work, the time to iterate has gone really low, right, for anyone who is motivated to do something in this field. On the other hand, running trades, right, HFTs and firms have been using ML models since long, so it's nothing new.
Correct.
But the usage wherein there will be a lot of models which will be there, and you'll be having a place where you can execute. So most of the firms and most of the people would like to keep an intelligence unit between the two, right? Like, for example, okay, I will see all the research, but I will not let the system take a trade directly. I will be here, I will use my intelligence to then decide if I will run that signal, right? Now, if you think of it, AI can replace that as well. So the intelligence unit in between can be actually an AI, which instead of you deciding what has to be done, can be decided by an AI. So that also changes, right? So earlier, like, you would not be able to work on unstructured data, right? For example, someone tweeting something, or you realize that that person, when he tweets, now, not I'm not talking about someone like Elon Musk, which we all follow, but you get to know that there is someone who is very a key stakeholder in certain company. When he tweets something, there's something which happens, right? Now all these information gets unfolded because of AI, because now you can track those things, those unstructured communication, you can track and trace it out, and actually generate a signal out of it. So definitely, like in Indian markets, as you rightly said, that algos are now the new thing, right? We are legalizing algos, and a lot of such things are happening. A lot of brokers, a lot of companies would go ahead and provide algos. So in the future, what the way I see is, you would not be buying Bank Nifty call or put. Rather, you will be buying, Bank Nifty some XYZ algo, right? So herding would be a problem. That means that one strategy, and end of the day, if you look at strategies, you can always divide it, classify into certain type of strategies. If you do a straddle, if you sell call and put for a particular index, right, no matter what kind of logic you keep, but if the market moves crazy, all of you are going to hit stop loss, or at least exit, right?
Correct.
So it
Correct.
really does not matter. But what will happen is there'll be pockets of patterns you would be able to see, which already you can see in zero DT expiry trading, that to be happening. There are pockets of patterns, and everyone trying to work on those patterns. Because also one thing which is happening is, because of AI, the iteration of building and searching a pattern and deploying it is very quick, right? So because of that, a lot of participants would come and build algos and run it, and that will create herding in strategies, and that will create during stress events, that will amplify the situation.
So, Souvik, great to know all that what AI can do. But as a retail trader or a retail investor, how can we utilize at sitting at our homes, in front of our computers. So how can we actually do the practical execution of all these things?
Sure, sure. So there are few stuff I can show. I mean, there are a lot of parts wherein we use AI as a workflow. But there are few stuff which I can show, which is kind of I built uh, for my use case, for my usage. Um, so yeah, so we discussed, right? There are two parts, right? One is research and one is running a trade, right?
Correct.
AI can help you in both the segments. So at the first segment, let me show you how I run my trades and how I like running my trades to
Sure.
be fair. And then I'll show you how the segment of research wherein an unstructured data, how I convert that unstructured data into a signal. So yeah, let's get started. So great. So here is what I have in front of the screen. So on the left side you have Claude. It's a desktop application similar to ChatGPT.
Hmm.
And on the right side you have Groww application, right? So what I want to show you is how I prefer to run my trades. And in this the Claude has connection with Groww. So the connection is done using something known as MCP. It's just a tool which can help you connect to Groww. And it's a tool also that there's another tool called Quant Equity Feed, which helps me get historical data so that I can do research and stuff, right? Um,
So, Souvik, just
so
to
so let's
interrupt
let's get
before we, sorry, just to
sure.
interrupt before we go ahead, someone who can download the desktop application of Claude will not see the Grow server and the Quant equity feed directly, right? They will have to do some kind of a
Yes.
settings over there to get in that. And I'll also request you to explain to our viewers what an MCP is, maybe.
Sure. So these two applications is written by me, and it's open
Okay.
source. I can share it with all of you,
Oh,
and
perfect.
we
Thank
can
you.
maybe we can put a link there wherein you can use this application yourself.
Oh, all right.
And as far as MCP is concerned, it's a way of AI communicating with your legacy applications. Like for example, let's say I have a Grow application, right, wherein
Mm-hmm.
I will be trading. Now the trading can be done by AI. So essentially, as I was saying, bringing the intelligence unit in between the
Right.
signal and the user, right? So now you can bring that intelligence unit saying that, hey, you know what? I will tell you what to do. Then you take the actual trade, right? So that's what MCP is for. So similarly, quant equity feed, what it does is it takes my request, then it goes ahead and fetches historical data and helps you do stuff around it.
So
I hope
basically,
that answers. Yeah.
it's like an interface between your Claude, where you are typing in natural language thing, where you can put in a sentence or something, which is like an instruction to the MCP which you have made, MCP server, like a Grow server or something, and then in turn it is actually putting orders or doing whatever on Grow's actual broking website.
Yes.
Is this correct?
Yes. That's how it works. That's how it works, right? So now this actually, marries the creativity or the intelligence of AI with the robustness of the application, placing the trades, right?
Hmm.
And let me show you how it works, right? For example, I want to see. Can you tell me what is there in my portfolio, right? If I just do that, I don't have to instruct anything else, right? Because this connected, it knows that I have to fetch the holdings of this particular account, right? So it has gone ahead and checked, and it says, okay, I'm holding 196 units of gold piece, which is of around 19,958, right? Now I can just go ahead and say that, okay, I want to invest the same amount in Nifty Bs. Okay. And it is smart enough to understand that, okay, this is the amount. I need to match it and take the equivalent amount in Grow. And let us see what's happening in the Grow's account. Okay.
Sure. For
So
the
there's no
viewers, we are
position
doing
yet.
this in the market hours, so we can easily see whether the order is being placed or not on the Grows app.
Yes. So it is fetching the price of Nifty. It is trying to
Perfect.
match the price of the amount of gold, and it's just asking me, should I go ahead with 69 units? Yes,
Okay.
go ahead. Okay. So as soon as I do that, it's going to place the order. And that's it. It's so simple, right?
And this is
Now
basically a
imagine
market
doing.
order, Souvik, sorry. This is basically a market order. If you want to put a limit order, then that also can be done
Yes,
easily on the.
even that's possible. Now, if you see here, the
Sure.
order has been placed
Yeah.
and it's executed, right? So can you tell me how the holdings look like right now? Okay. And it will go ahead and check my updated holdings and tell me
Mm-hmm.
what all are there in my holdings, right? So this is the power you have. Now imagine you doing the very same thing in a broker application, right? You
Yeah.
need to first select the script, then you have to decide, okay, 20,000 means how many units, right? So much of overhead. Now it's so easy for someone to go ahead and do the very same thing. In fact, let me show you something very interesting. And people who do FNO trading, let me show you something interesting, right? You can also take a FNO position, which is a complicated derivative position,
Sure.
just by speaking with it. Like for example, let's say, can you sell one lot of Nifty straddle for the next expiry, right? Now, if you are a trader and
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know what is the pain to actually sell a straddle, right? You have to
Yeah.
open Nifty, you need to know the price of Nifty, then you need to figure out what is the ATM, then you to okay find call and put of that particular strike, and then
Yeah.
you essentially
Execute. Yeah. Put the orders. Yes.
execute, right?
Yes.
Put the orders. Now, that entire thing is so easy right now, right? The entire process of selling a straddle is just you kind of, telling the system to go ahead and
Hmm.
sell a straddle, and it does that, right? Um, so, so, so the whole process of running trade, right, is easier right now. Okay, so it got the Nifty price,
Hmm.
which is 25,280. Now it is going to search for the options of the nearby
Yeah.
strikes, and then it is going to sell those strikes. So it's doing all the calculations. But this is the way I use this particular tool is I train a certain setup, right? For example, I train it to sell a straddle, for example, right? And then once it is trained, I can come the next day and just say, sell the straddle as you did earlier, and it will be able to do the very same thing as is, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's what normally what I do. So you can see that the orders are executed. Here are both the positions, and this is actually taken by the bot, right? So these are the orders,
Yeah.
and after some fight, it could sell it. Now think of it, right? This exact process, so difficult to do it if you want to do it manually, right? You would take way more time than what the bot versus the time the bot took.
So this is really good, and so we can, but I'm sure people would have strategies where they are maybe buying or selling multiple legs of put options, call options. I think then it will be much more easier, because what I know is lot of brokers, I think you have to go one by one on each of the options and do the execution. By this, I think the entire thing is done, kind of at one go, whether a multi leg or a single leg
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah, I mean, what you just said, we can try that out. I mean, for example, let's say calendar. Calendar is a very complicated strategy, right?
Sure,
You
sure, we can
sell
we can see that.
the
Yeah,
closer expiry, and then you buy the longer dated expiry. So
yeah.
let's say that now I want to buy 5 strikes away from the ATM, call and put of the monthly expiry,
Hmm.
right? So basically, I'm buying hedges on the monthly expiry, right? And if I just say that, it'll go and buy this. And this is a very complicated strategy, right? Selling a straddle, there are multi leg orders, right? Uh, this is the process of training. I am trying to explain what I do. Okay.
Yeah.
When I say sell a calendar, I am right now training what has to be done. once I do this, and once the AI gets a hang of it, right? So the AI bot, the call, and it'll also place for the put. So once AI
Yeah.
gets a hang of it, I can always come back and just say, you remember what you did the last time? Can you do it again for now, right now?
Hmm.
And it'll do the entire thing without you specifically telling what to be done. So if you see here, all the positions are there. It has bought five strikes
Correct.
away, call and put, and it has sold the next expiry, call and put. Yeah.
Basically, you shorted the weekly straddle and you went long the strangle, which is monthly, so that you also made a calendar spread in that way and made an kind of a
Yes.
variation
Yes.
of an iron
Yes.
condor strategy. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, of course, the
Yes.
payoff
Yes.
diagram can also be looked at it. Souvik, this
Yeah.
actually excites me a lot because there is one strategy which I always wanted to implement. Let's assume this strategy only, what we are talking about. Can we place some kind of a stop loss or a target based on the underlying? So let's, for example, Nifty, we saw that was at 25,280. Let's say I want to square this off the entire strategy when Nifty reaches 25,100. So rather than placing stop loss on separate legs of these option trades, can I do this on the basis of underlying in all the four or six legs or whatever can be squared off? Is it possible?
Oh, surely you can do that. I mean, see, it's just how you marry the entire logic of what you want to do
Yeah.
with the power of AI. So here, the only place where you need to add some bit of logic or some bit of workflow there is to track the Nifty from time to time, because
Right.
in the
Exactly.
logic which you said, I need to track the underlying from time to time for me to take a decision, right now there is no way that Claude can track it, but and in the course of the presentation, I'm going to show you that as well, that how can you build a system which can keep tracking stuff, and maybe you can build a
Okay.
logic out there and do the very same thing which you just said.
I think if this is solving for that,
Yeah.
that's a very powerful use case of these kind of things.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Uh, so yeah, I guess it has taken. It did not take the monthly expiry. Oh. So sorry. So it has shorted the multi expiry when it did for the first time, and it bought the multi
Okay.
expiry. But anyways, we can be specific on the prompts, and you need to be a better prompt engineer, right? You need to know what to prompt the Claude to get your things done the right way. Um, Anywho, going ahead, as I did
Yeah.
this, right, as you were talking about stop loss, let's say I want to have some stop loss because I've sold, and there is kind of a risk in holding it if at all the market moves, right?
Sure.
So I can just ask him, can you um, put 30% of the premium SL on
Hmm.
the sold legs? Okay, that's it. And it is going to calculate what is that amount, right? Place the order. I don't have to do anything, just have to command. Now imagine this entire thing can be just a voice communication, it can be over a call. Right,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in India love to do call and trade, right? It can actually be a call
Correct.
and trade. Right. Yeah. So I mean, lot of opportunities, lot of options out there, right? Lot of automations which can happen. So if you can see here, the buy SL is put for both the strike switches.
Sure. So great to look at the execution part and what all Claude can do. But for a person like me, let's say, who doesn't know coding or who doesn't know how to create these MCPs and all, how difficult or how easy it is actually to kind of build something which can do what you have shown over here. I know you are going to share us your kind of models with us, but how can we actually start doing it for from ourselves?
So the in today's age, there is a lot of open source tools. Open source tools means
Yeah.
you don't have to write it yourself. You don't have to take that trouble. Like for example, I took that trouble and wrote it. Just use it, right? And just own the tools out there, copy the tools out there, and
Hmm.
use it for your use case, right? Because if you want to build your own MCP, of course, you need to have some amount of tech knowledge, right? Because it's
Yeah.
an application which is written, which is coded now. Like, you can of course code it using all the LLMs if you have some knowledge in technology, and it is not very difficult, right? As I said, that there is no differentiation between product, tech, business, right? Everything is
Yes.
can be done by one guy. So if you have the motivation, definitely you can do it. But having said that, if the objective for you to is not to really learn, or the objective for you to is just to deploy or be able to do what I am doing here,
Correct.
you can just copy. I'm providing this open source. You can just use this and use it for your use case.
No, I think understood. Basically, what I was also trying to do is that I used to ask ChatGPT to give me a code for my strategy on a Pine script. And for a backtesting kind of a thing, I just used to copy paste on TradingView, and the entire strategy used to give me what all kind of drawdowns and the how many hit loss ratio is there. So for backtesting, I used to use. So being an engineer myself, but obviously not done coding for past 20 years. But I think again, refreshing back from what I will explain to Chat GPTs or Claude or Perplexities, entire copy paste the code in whatever kind of environment you have to, and it will give you the solution. So I think your whatever you are going to provide for the open source, people can just make use of it, copy paste in their environment, and can try it building their own.
So see, this is one part wherein I just shown you how you can run your. Let me exit all the positions, by the way.
Ah,
Exit
sure.
all,
Okay.
and see, exiting is so easy. It's
And
just
when
you
you
just
exit
type exit
all
all,
the
and
pending SL orders will also get cancelled, right?
yes, yes, it should be smart enough to do that. Okay, let's see what it does.
Let's see.
Okay,
Yeah.
it has started exiting the positions. One of the
Sure.
position is exited. Is exited another position. It has exited. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, it has exited all,
All the positions, correct.
and yeah, I let me see if yeah, all orders are executed. So this is
Perfect.
one aspect. There is another aspect of research, right? I'll show you
Okay.
some examples wherein you know how maybe just a sneak peek of what research can you do, right? Uh, let's say I want to build a portfolio, right? And I want a
Mm-hmm.
portfolio which is orthogonal. So orthogonal by saying orthogonal, what I mean is uncorrelated to each other, right? Because as someone famously said that there is no free lunch in the market, but diversification
Mm.
is almost close to free lunch, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
so let's say I want to have a diversified portfolio and an orthogonal portfolio, and I want to see how can I do that. So this is the entire portfolio optimizer which I vibe coded. Right now, let me show you what you just suggested. Right, the same thing which I did: Nifty bees,
Okay.
gold bees. Right, definitely we can
Sure.
show ETFs. Right, so let me see, let me optimize it, and you know what I did in with Claude, I can do the very same thing here as well. Now this is something entirely written by AI, right? I have just instructed what has to be done, and this is something I got as an output. So see what happens here, right? So it tells me that okay, this kind of looks to be an optimized portfolio, right? This is the kind of return if I would have traded with this allocation. This is the kind of volatility. This is the kind of equity curve I would have seen.
Mm-hmm.
This is the efficient frontier, and it's telling me that what is the most optimum level where my portfolio should be, weighted. And it gives me all the details, correlation, everything, and I can also change it. I can just change it to equal height and equal weight, and see that if I would have done equal weight, then how would my
Mm.
portfolio would have looked like, right? It kind of optimizes on sharp, and that is the reason it will be, when I optimize, it will be different from when I put an equal weight. But essentially what I'm trying to, as I was saying earlier as well, that iteration is quick. I built it within a day, not even a day, right? Because if I would have wanted to build this myself, I would have taken at least a
Yeah.
week. Okay, I could do in a day, right? Because AI is helping us ship out products faster, ship out software products at least faster.
Got it. Understood. Understood.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is good for kind of understanding the portfolio optimization from an investing perspective as well. Is there something which the retail traders can use for deciphering the news or something like that? If for basically a trader, because they are generally trading on the news part of it.
Yeah, sure, sure. So as I said, right, earlier you would it's easy to work on structured data, but today with the help of AI you can work with unstructured data as well. You can work on top of news, like as I said. So there are two kind of thought process, right? One thought process is whenever a news comes, it is already late. Right? And the another thought process is whenever the news comes, maybe it is not too late and there is more to happen, right? So people actually trade on news, and news is something on which is an alternate data, right? Normally people look at price, but no one looks at news. But today, with the help of AI, you can do that. So I'll show you one example. So this is N10, right? Someone who is interested in building workflows can do without writing any code. So I've not written any code. This is a workflow which I've set up for myself, right? So essentially, what it does is it goes ahead, and every 5 minutes, you can see here, every 5 minutes, it will go ahead, fetch RSS feed, which will fetch all the global news, whatever is happening, India ka news, whatever is happening, and then essentially pass it through AI to decide what is the signal. Remember what I was saying, that there is information out there, and from that information you kind of have a signal, and from signal you can execute, right? But between signal and executing, you want to have an intelligence. So this is a small example where the intelligence is put in, and essentially this intelligence is coming and telling me, hey, this is the time we can go long. Okay, it's giving me a signal, hey, we can go long right now, and it is telling me the news for which it thinks we can go long. Okay, so yeah, so I think this actually, and as you rightly mentioned, Vaibhav, that if you want to build something wherein I want to track the nifty underlying for taking a trade, you can build a workflow here for yourself, and achieve the same result.
So you can get the signals about that this is the time you can go long on particularly this, and then we can connect our MCP back that whenever you get a signal from here, then do the execution. So everything gets connected together, and
Yes,
then you have the automatic trades done, and the retail trader generally doesn't
yes,
have to look at the
yes,
screens and the follow the news. Oh, brilliant.
yes. Let me show you. Let me run it once again right now. Okay, I'll just run this feed, run this, and it is now thinking what is happening. It is looking into all the news. Okay, great. Now I can just play it, and I
Okay.
will get a message. Okay, I just got a message right now. See, after looking at whatever is happening out in the world, what does the signal
Mm-hmm.
look like? The signal looks like long. Now, as I said, I mean, there can be two thoughts given here, and we can make the AI further prompt the AI in those way, wherein look at historical news and see how the market has reacted to such kind of news, right? So there is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
potential you gain when you build such workflows around you, which is around unstructured data, alternate data, and not the data of price, which we all of us look at.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. That's pretty good. So, Souvik, we saw three different screens or three different applications. One is your MCP, one is your NA10, and one is your portfolio optimizer. Can we probably look to summarize that? How, if a user, if a retail trader is sitting at his home and wants to start, where can he start from? And then how can he start, kind of thinking to
Sure.
build this for himself, maybe?
Sure, sure. So most of the stuff which I've shown is available in the internet, and if you want to learn more,
Okay.
work with more, you can definitely connect with me on Twitter. I am active on Twitter. If not, you can also read about it. I mean, there is so many knowledge base out there, from YouTube to
Mm-hmm.
to blogs to stuff wherein you can learn. If you want to use the MCPs which I've built, my GitHub repo is again public, open source. I have I have put out all the tools around MCP
Sure.
and AI related code out there, so anyone can go ahead and maybe access it.
So yes, for you, all of the links and every repository and everything, Sovik's website, all the links are provided in the description. Do check it out and start playing with it. So Sovik, what's next?
So I like to summarize it for someone who is starting today, right? If I were to
Yes.
start today, what would I do, right? Um, I kind of would use or leverage AI for everything, right? Writing code, deploying something out there in production, monitoring,
Right.
everything, right? Wherever, of course, you have to understand the cost of AI today is very, very low because of all the discounting. at multiple layers that is happening. This is not the actual cost of AI. The cost of AI is way high, right? So while we are at it, we should leverage it to the fullest. So use AI for everything. It is nothing in front of the benefit which you will get, right? So that's one thing. Secondly, what I'll do is, as I talked about herding, right? That strategies will become something which is used by everyone. The patterns which are out there in pockets will be acted on by a lot of people out there, and that will create some kind of herding effect, which can affect you if you're doing just one type of thing. So the another thing which I will do is diversify my portfolio, right? I will not just do expiry trading on my entire account. No, I will not do that. I will also not just buy gold and keep it like everyone else is doing, because everywhere, wherever you are kind of concentrating your entire portfolio, the risk of herding comes, right? The risk of every strategy saying that, okay, do this comes. So that's the reason you want to invest in uncorrelated assets. Like, you can do, expiry trading. You can do some amount of investing. You can do some amount of investing in commodities, some different markets. So have a very diversified, it's like, having a balanced diet, right? You can always have, your favorite, kind of curry every time, but that will not keep you healthy. You want to have balanced diet on your plate, wherein you have some amount of vegetables, some amount of carbs, some amount of fat, some amount of protein. So the same thing goes for investing and trading as well, that you want to have a diversified portfolio. Ensure that you are not stuck in any form of herding, wherein there is a stress or something, and the market crashes crazy and you get affected. Ensure that you are insured for such crashes, or at least your portfolio is made in such a way that if one of the assets go down, the another asset would save you. This will help you, stay longer and build a sustainable, kind of a trading portfolio.
I think thank you so much, Souvik. That was deeply engaging and engrossing conversation we had with you today. I'm sure the viewers who are listening to this, one thing is for sure, markets are not theory. I mean, you can learn as much as possible, but until and unless you do it by yourself, you will not succeed. Souvik has actually been very kind to provide all sorts of, kind of the work he has done for you to use and build it over on top of that. And I would really, encourage all of you to actually make use of it, use it. And as Souvik said, I don't know, and nobody knows when the cost of AI increases. Till the time you're getting a discounted thing, I think it's such a very good time to start leveraging it once it becomes very common thing, and then it starts, kind of everybody start using it and it starts losing an edge. So with that, I think, Souvik, thank you again, and we'll close it.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Thank you.
So guys, that was a wonderful interaction with Souvik today. And for me, at least, there were 4 key takeaways. The first one, that the human trader is not going to get obsolete, at least in the near future. Then he showed us how he built his MCP tool, where he can automate the order selection and execution very seamlessly. And you don't need to log into your broker app to place trades and do execution. He showed us how he built his own portfolio optimizer, where he is allocating the weightages to the portfolio different asset classes based on some preset parameters. And then he used NA10, which actually transforms the unstructured data like news into genuine trade signals. So with that note, see you in the next episode of Off the Charts. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.